Back again with another video, and we're going to continue with the slide marathon here. But for this video, I'm going to give you a bundle of reviews, of a few of his movies. Just give you quick reviews here, not really go too deep. But yeah, this ought to be fun. So the following we're going to talk about are Demolition Man, The Specialist, Judge Dredd, Assassins, Daylight, Compland, Antz, and Get Carter. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And to start off, Demolition Man. This is my favorite Stallone movie, directed by Marco Brambilla. Great cast. You got Stallone as John Spartan, Wesley Snipes as Simon Phoenix, Sandra Bullock is great support, and you got some other people in the cast like Benjamin Bratt, Dennis Leary, and so much more. A lot of great ideas about the future that now makes this a documentary. I mean, we're starting to see a lot of this stuff become reality, which is scary. I mean, just look at the society that we live in today. But Marco Brambilla, he brought some great vision to the film that I wish this guy would have directed more. I mean, after this movie, he didn't really go on to do too much. And again, it's a shame. I wish that, Marco Brambilla would have directed more. He could have done more sci-fi movies. He could have worked with, Stallone again. But yeah, I mean, you got the Three Seashells. You got, every restaurant in the future is Taco Bell. And again, a lot of just fun ideas and definitely ahead of its time. And like I said, Demolition Man is my favorite Stallone movie and a classic. Next up we have The Specialist, and yeah, this is a decent one, directed by Luis Loza, who just a year before directed Sniper, and he would go on to direct Anaconda. And again, it's a decent one. Stallone's not bad, Sharon Stone is hot. Around this time, this is around the time she had done Basic Instinct. So she was giving off a lot of erotic appeal, and there's some steamy scenes in this movie. James Woods is one of the best parts of the film for me. Eric Roberts, it's cool to see Eric Roberts in there. There's some good bomb scenes, scenes of explosions, because Sly's character is a bomb expert. So you got some cool scenes, with explosions. I do think, though, for me, there's some pacing issues. I do think the direction is a bit casual or average. I kind of wonder if another director, could have punched up this movie a bit, because it's not Sly's best. But I think, for me, overall, I think it's a decent, Sly movie. So I do like The Specialist. Next up, we have Judge Dredd. Now, first of all, I've never read the comics, so I'm not too familiar with the source material. As a film, I think it's an okay watch, but it has a lot of issues too. Now, Stallone as Judge Dredd is good casting. He's right for the part, but when you have him remove the helmet, and throughout the movie he's given an over-the-top performance. The same thing for Armand DeSanti, who's our villain here. Both your lead and your villain antagonist are giving over-the-top performances. Diane Lane's not bad. She's fine in the movie. Rob Schneider, usually I don't mind, but in this movie he's kind of annoying. Originally, I think that part was offered to Joe Pesci. And I'm like, I'd rather have seen Joe Pesci. And there's some positives here. The look of Mega City, production value. I see, the work that was put into the look of, again, Mega City, and, some of the action. There's some decent bits of action here. But, when you get to the third act of the film, you just kind of expected more, and there's so much there that And I'm like, man, they really dropped the ball here. Um, so, man, I would say overall, it's an okay watch for, again, some of the production value and some decent bits of action. When Stallone, when he has the helmet on, he's good. But when he removes the helmet and he's very over the top in his acting, the same thing for Armand Asante. He's a good actor, but he's very over the top here and bombastic. Um, Diane Lane's not bad again, but it's just a disappointing film. But that's my thoughts on Judge Dredd. Next, Assassins, directed by Richard Donner, and this is a good one. Stallone and Antonio Banderas have a solid chemistry. There's some good gunplay in the film between these two characters, and Richard Donner's direction is solid. But for me, if there's drawbacks, Julianne Moore, I like her as an actress, but I didn't really care too much for her character. And the second half of the film definitely needed work. It's a 2 hour and 10-minute film, and you can definitely feel the pacing in the second half. And I think it needed work. Maybe you could have added a tad more action or just simple editing, because there's a lot where nothing happens, in the second half. But, I still think this is a good film, and I actually prefer it more than The Specialist and Judge Dredd. But, yeah, Assassins is a good one. Up next, we have Daylight. To me, a very underrated disaster movie. Entertaining direction from Rob Cohen. Stallone does a great job here. A different role, but also, very relatable. He plays a very relatable character. I really enjoyed the premise here, where this tunnel's collapsed and Stallone has to, save these people. The supporting players here, you have Amy Brenneman, Viggo Mortensen is in there. Although I wish that Viggo Mortensen was given more to do. For people that have seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. But, you got some people in the cast, again, that you've seen before in other movies. At times, though, for me, the cast, like the supporting players, characters, are kind of annoying because, Stallone is trying to save these people, and throughout the film, they're yelling at him. And I'm like, stop being annoying. Just, follow Sly's lead. He knows what he's doing. And again, it's a disaster movie that, the production value and the sets are done well, with the special effects. And you get that, feeling of danger, throughout the movie. And, every which way they go, there's danger. And yeah, it's a very, again, underrated disaster movie. If you haven't seen Daylight, do check it out. Next, we have Copland. And such a great movie. You have a great cast. This movie is loaded with star power. You got Stallone, you got Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Harvey Keitel, Robert Patrick, Michael Rappaport. But you also have Peter Berg and so much more, directed by James Mangold, who does an excellent job directing with an, engaging story. And it's one of Stallone's best performances. He put on weight for this role, and he goes all in this gritty cop drama. And yeah, Copland is one of Stallone's best movies. And yeah, if you haven't seen Copland, what are you waiting on? So, yeah, Copland's a great movie, classic. Next up, we have Antz. And, I would say for me, this one, it's a decent animated film. Nice voice cast. You got, Woody Allen in there. You got Stallone. You got Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, Dan Aykroyd, and so much more. The pacing, it's not a long film. It's about an hour and 15, 20 minutes. The animation is not the most polished, but, there's some fun there, some fun ideas. So, Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a decent animated film for me. But that's my thoughts on Antz. And lastly, for this video, Get Carter from 2000, which is a remake of the 1971 version, which stars Michael Caine, and Michael Caine is in the cast here. Now, I was watching the film here, and unfortunately, around the 1 hour mark, the DVD crapped out. I went to check it, no fingerprints, no scratches. Then I even went to scene selection to try and pick a scene after the 1 hour mark, and the DVD would not play. So, yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of this DVD here. And if it's on Blu-ray, I'll pick up the Blu-ray. So, yeah, I had to finish watching it on my computer, and this is a good movie. You know, I don't get the hate for this film. You know, oh, it's the worst remake. Have you seen Elm Street? The Elm Street remake? Have you seen that? From 2010? Have you seen the RoboCop remake? To me, those movies are worse. This is not that bad of a movie. You know, Stephen K's direction is very stylish, as well as the editing. You know, Stallone in the film gives a very, all pun intended, a very sly performance, because sly is another word for cool. And this character, you know, the way he plays his character just comes off cool and slick and hard-edged. You know, good supporting cast. You know, Mickey Rourke is in the film. I wish, though, one thing about the movie, I wish that there was more scenes between Stallone and Rourke, because the scenes that they have are some of the best parts of the film, and they have a good chemistry. Even the fight they had in the film, I wish that it was a bit longer. It's a good fight, but I kind of wish there was more to it. And you got some other people in there like Rachel Leigh Cook, Miranda Richardson, Alan Cumming, Michael Caine. You know, like I said, Michael Caine is in here. Although I wish that Michael Caine was in it a bit more, you know, but it's good to see him in there. There's some good action, you know, throughout the movie. You know, so you get some good action scenes. And like I said, the film has a style. The direction is stylish, and the editing, the way that the film is edited, again, is stylish. And again, it's a good film. I don't get the hate. And I think it's underrated. So, yeah, Get Carter, to me, an underrated film and a good remake. So, yeah. But those are my quick reviews for this video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.